We've known the Suzuki Vitara as a ready-to-rock, small off-roader with low-range diffs when the going gets tough. So why did Suzuki turn it into a small B-segment crossover? In a bid to capture more sales, Suzuki's turned it into a sort of family-friendly, more car-like experience. But does this mean more sales for the Vitara? And does it mean it's still the SUV we know and love? There's only one way to find out. Let's take it out for a spin. Inside the new Vitara, it's a mix of retro cues along with touches of modern design. You get this sort of T-bar arrangement for the center stack, and you get these round aircon vents, which is reminiscent of cars of the past. Materials inside, well, the door bins and the dash is composed of hard plastic, although you really wouldn't complain about that at this price point. One thing that does dominate here is this huge 10-inch screen. It's powered by Android, and you get apps such as Google Chrome and even Waze. Now, you can connect the system via your phone's hotspot, and from there, just open Chrome, and voila, you have internet access. Although I wouldn't advise using it while you're driving. It's great for passengers though. As for the rest of the cabin, you get this leather effect with suede seats and a multi-information display relaying pretty important details such as fuel economy, range, mileage, and everything you need to know when you're out on a road trip. Also, you get cruise control, steering wheel audio controls, and this huge panoramic glass roof, although it does have its downsides, which I'll explain later on. Now, the Vitara is a small vehicle. Now, here at the back, it looks like I have a lot of knee room, leg room, and toe room. Although this is in my driving position. If, say, someone 5'10" would sit in front, I'd probably have about this much knee room left. And if you put two 6-footers here, they might be a little bit pressed for space. Also, this panoramic sunroof, it's great for bringing in light in the cabin, although it compromises a bit on headroom. Now, I'm not tall, so imagine if anyone taller than me would sit back here, their head would be brushing the ceiling already. So, what about the outside? Let's go take a look at it. On the outside, there are some familiar Vitara cues, such as this clamshell hood and these upswept headlights. Giving it a more muscular look, so to speak, is this grille, which comes with these interesting little slats, non-functional mind you, here at the front. Common to a crossover perhaps are these gray finished claddings surrounding the entire bottom of the car. It's clean and simple design, and it's also familiar to some. This being the GLX variant, you could get it in this special two-tone scheme. In this case, it's white on orange. Also exclusive to the GLX model are the 17-inch alloy wheels. Now, looking at it, there are pretty bold character lines here, though deftly defined. And there's a pretty straightforward window line and a large glass area to let a lot more light in. Now, what about the back? Let's go take a look at it. It's at the back where the new Vitara is very much different from the old Vitaras. Just one look and you'll see the difference. You no longer have the spare tire mounted on the tailgate. Instead, it's mounted inside under the cargo floor. Now, the taillights are also very much different. They now extend into the tailgate. And typical, again, of most crossovers, there's more black cladding down here. Now, you may have noticed the tow hitch down there. It's an optional extra, so don't expect it to come free with a car. But what about the cargo area? Among its peers, it's pretty much on average. Although what is smart is this two-layer tailgate cargo floor. Now, you could make it low so you could carry taller items at the back, or you could lift this up and turn it into a flat loading bay. It's pretty smart when you ask me. Out in the city, the Vitara feels like a B-segment hatchback to drive around, except that you have the benefit of extra ride height and the seats which you could rise all the way up till your head hits the ceiling. That makes for great visibility all around. Steering the car around, it's pretty light, a bit dead on center. It's not really going to thrill you unless you really push it. Of course, you wouldn't really push the car, one, because it's a crossover, and two, you're out in the city and you're on public roads. To sum up then, it is a very comfortable and relaxing car to drive, although the ride is a bit on the firm side, but not uncomfortably so. I do have to point out that the large glass roof brings in a lot of heat in the cabin, and it's not helped by this thin layer that covers the glass. And I wish Suzuki would employ thicker covers on it rather than this rather flimsy piece of cloth. As a result, the air conditioning, it is good when it's not too hot outside, but you'll feel the heat on a hot summer day. So as a result, you'll have to compensate for that by adjusting the air conditioning. If you do get the entry-level models, you won't get this problem, but if you go for this GLX, you might want to reconsider. Of course, that doesn't mean the Vitara is an uncomfortable car to drive. The brakes are progressive, the seats offer enough lumbar support, and the ride, though firm, isn't uncomfortable. It's just that this air conditioning just needs a little bit of work to compensate for the extra heat from the glass roof. Fuel economy, on the other hand, is where the good news is. In pretty heavy traffic, we're doing about 10 kilometers per liter, which is what you would expect from a 1600 engine. If anything, it's the fuel tank that will limit your range, because it's not that big. It's pretty much on par with any B-segment vehicle out there. Overall, it's an efficient engine and it offers decent enough performance. It's not going to set the world alight with performance figures. It only makes about 115 horsepower. Although what you do get is an efficient package, also thanks in part to the 6-speed automatic. Regardless of the variant, be it the entry model GL or this top-of-the-line GLX, you get the same 1.6-liter dual overhead cam 16-valve 4-cylinder engine. It makes about 114 horsepower and torque is rated at 156 Newton-meters. No manual transmissions available for the Vitara. Instead, you're stuck with just one, a 6-speed automatic transmission with paddle shifters. And unlike the Vitaras of the past, you can't even get this with 4-wheel drive or even all-wheel drive. This Vitara is strictly front-wheel drive. Granted, the Suzuki Vitara isn't perfect, but then again, no car is. Now, it makes up points when it comes to its value proposition. At 1,098,000 pesos, you get 6 airbags and stability control as part of the deal standard. You even get this, again, huge panoramic sunroof, although it's a bit of a double-edged sword, and, to the delight of the passengers, the huge 10-inch Android-powered touchscreen. It's a stylish little package, offers decent performance, and even better fuel economy. So if you are in the market for a B-segment crossover that offers a lot of peso power, perhaps the Suzuki Vitara should be on your list.